Israel has just massively escalated its military operations in Gaza. Edan Alexander shares details of his harrowing captivity in Gaza, and U.S. intelligence officials just leaked a fascinating report about the Iran nuclear situation and Israel. I'm Ben Hilton, and this is the Israel Guys. Over the past 24 hours, Israel has been continuing the massive offensive operations they started last week in Gaza. There have been a number of airstrikes hitting significant targets throughout the Strip, as well as extensive ground operations in the north and the south. Once again, Prime Minister Netanyahu was saying the goal of this new offensive is to destroy Hamas's military and governing capabilities. And of course, a primary goal is the rescuing of the remaining hostages as well. The IDF has maintained a security perimeter in the middle of Gaza and is currently expanding that perimeter to the north and the south. Just this week alone, Israel has been conducting more than 100 airstrikes every single day, targeting terror-related sites. Last week, they were able to hit Mohammed Sinwar and a number of other senior Hamas commanders in a single strike when they were having a meeting in a tunnel underneath a hospital. And just yesterday, they were able to hit Mu'taz Dib, the Hamas commander of their missile and rocket arrays in northern Gaza. They were also able to eliminate Mohammed Shaheen, a Nukba terrorist who was involved in the October 7th massacre. The IDF has been conducting mass evacuations in northern Gaza over the last 24 hours, as you can see in the videos here, presumably to ramp up ground operations even more in the near future. There also are unverified reports that the IDF is conducting evacuations in Khan Yunis as well. As is the usual arrangement, Israel targeting terrorists for destruction is raising a hue and cry of condemnation worldwide. No surprise there. The UK, France, Canada all issued a joint statement opposing the operation and threatening action if Israel did not let up. The UN also warned about an imminent famine in Gaza, with 14,000 babies at risk of dying of starvation within the next 48 hours if Israel didn't allow entry to more supplies for Gaza. Although when Israel called this out as completely bogus, they walked back their claim, saying they actually meant 14,000 children under 5 could face severe malnutrition over the next 11 months if Israel didn't change something, so kind of a major difference there. Either way, there shouldn't be any issues, as Israel is currently letting in massive amounts of supplies to the Gaza Strip. Sadly, today in an operation in Khan Yunis, Staff Sergeant Danilo Mokanu of the 7th Armored Brigade's 82nd Battalion was killed when a building collapsed from an explosion. Apparently, the building had already been scanned by drone and with a K9 unit, but somehow the explosive device was missed. This brings the total death count of the IDF in this war so far up to 858 since October 7th, and that's counting the troops that were killed in that initial raid by Hamas. This tragic death toll, along with the burden of hostages still in captivity in Gaza and the tough economy caused by the war, has brought a lot of strain to Israeli families and small businesses, which is why, if there's any way possible, we in America, I believe, should do our best to bless the nation of Israel. I know we talk about it a lot here on the channel, but products sold by small boutique businesses across Judea and Samaria are actually available for sale in the United States at really reasonable prices. And if you're willing to spend a little bit more for your honey, coffee, olive oil, spices, and jewelry, and all kinds of things, you not only get amazing high quality products shipped to your doorstep, but you also are actively investing in the families and small businesses in Israel. You are blessing God's chosen people and building up the heartland of Israel, one purchase at a time. Go to Blessed by Israel, guys, blessedbyisrael.com, and use the code INVEST for $5 off your first order. That's blessedbyisrael.com to support the families and small businesses of Israel's heartland. So Edan Alexander was released from captivity in Gaza last week at the behest of the American government and Qatar. When released, he was not in good physical health. He looked starved and weak. Since then, he has released some details of his captivity through Channel 12, Israeli media. Apparently, he was moved quite a bit to avoid detection by Israel. At one point, he talked about being moved in a donkey cart alongside of a terrorist disguised as a civilian. For over a year, he was held in tunnels, safe houses, mosques, schools, and refugee tents. Edan said in captivity, he was forced to drink brown water and in some cases seawater. He was given moldy and dirty bread to eat. Apparently, he was subject to weeks of relentless interrogation and torture as Hamas tried to extract information from him about the IDF and Israeli operations. He was confined to a cage in a tunnel and chained hand and foot for extended periods of time. Apparently, he lost 20 kilograms or about 44 pounds while in captivity, and when he was released, he could barely walk. Just this week marks the second Passover date where Jews who couldn't celebrate Passover in the first date are allowed to do so a month later. According to Edan's grandmother, he was able to take that day to celebrate the Passover he missed while in Gaza, celebrating Jewish freedom from slavery in a way few people have the ability to really understand. Yesterday, there was a reported intelligence leak regarding Israel's potential plans to strike Iranian nuclear facilities. Apparently, U.S. officials disclosed new intelligence suggesting Israel is preparing to target Iran's nuclear and uranium enrichment sites, such as Fordow and Natanz, despite ongoing U.S.-Iran nuclear talks. The intelligence based on intercepted Israeli communications and military movements indicates preparations for a possible strike within the next 6 months or so, or actually, I think within the first 6 months of 2025, so within the next couple of months potentially, though no final decision has been confirmed. The leak has been kind of strange. It was reported by several different outlets and has raised concerns about undermining the U.S. diplomatic talks with Iran. Some people are suggesting it may be a deliberate attempt by the American government to pressure Iran into striking a deal, or on the other hand, it may be a deliberate effort to disrupt Israel's plans to attack. Unlike the leak that happened this last October, which involved specific documents posted on Telegram that detailed Israeli Air Force exercises, this leak appears less detailed, focusing on general military intelligence without specific targets or timelines. The U.S. has expressed concern, with officials noting the leak could complicate negotiations, but no further documents have surfaced publicly as of today. Guys, there is a lot going on in the Middle East with Israel, with Iran, with all of the Arab countries surrounding it, and we are here to report on everything that comes our way every single weekday. If you'd like to support our work here at The Israel Guys, go to theisraelguys.com/donate. Subscribe to this channel if you have not already, and don't forget to support the families and small businesses in Judea and Samaria through our friends at Blessed by Israel, blessedbyisrael.com. As always, thanks for watching.